Good evening, televiewers. You are welcome to this last edition of Prime Hour on my Media Prime, an edition that is going to be looking at information communication technology that is set to be the future of our world. And this evening we're looking at the need for children to be introduced into technology, information communication technology as soon as possible so that they grow in it and easily get involved and in the respective careers that come with this domain of our life that is the future set by so many persons. Today we're going to be looking at discussing with some persons who say that they want as many young Cameroonian children to get involved in ICTs, especially during these holidays, to prepare them for the leaders of tomorrow. They should not be surprised with information communication technology skills and knowledge after obtaining the advanced or university degrees. There is a great need for them to start knowing these tools, working with computers, working with laptops, even as children, and already a career path created for them. We are this evening going to be discussing with Abingen Zainabuin. They call her Ewane. She is a senior DevOps engineer who is based in Canada. We are glad to have you on Prime Hour for the very first time, Engineer Ewane.
Hey, Mr. Kum, thank you very much. I am happy to be here to make the world know what ICT is all about and, of course, the need of our children to get into IT and be exposed into IT at a very early age. Thank you.
Okay, just to note that Engineer Ewane is a senior DevOps engineer with more than 5 years of experience working in collaboration with developers, operations, database administrators, and system administrators to deliver highly secured, highly available, resilient, and high quality infrastructures and applications in multi-cloud environments. She has worked as senior DevOps engineer, cloud engineer, site reliability engineer, and systems administrator in a couple of companies, including Royal Bank of Canada, IBM, ATB Financial Canada, Haven Tree Bank, Telus Health, Telus Communication, Show Communication, and is quite an expert in what she wants to achieve and give back to Cameroon in the domain in which she is operating out there in Canada. But she's going to be accompanied in these discussions by Mr. Onil Valulien, who is a representative in Cameroon of the project we're going to be talking about. Good evening and welcome, Onil.
Thank you, Mr. Kum. Thank you for having me.
Coming all the way from Buea. Hope everything is going on well.
Yeah, everything is good. Thank you.
Okay.
Everything is good with you too.
Okay. Now, the engineer Ewane, you are out there in Canada. We will start by asking you the importance of getting children involved in IT at a very early age.
Yeah, sure, Mr. Kum. The reality is that we are in what the world will call technology era. You realize that from an early age, from conception, when the child is born, that child, that fetus basically in the womb, starts experiencing a touch of technology. From pregnancy test to ecography to radiology, whatever that child, goes through, from when the mother conceives to when the mother really wants to know the sex of the baby, as many mothers want to do now, it involves technology. So you will bear with me that we are either directly or indirectly affected in one way or the other by the use of information technology, right? You see children, everybody, most people now have phones. Children play with tablets all over the world. Children are being, scammed. Children are being exposed to social media at a very early age. So to me, this burden in my heart, to see our present day generation experiencing the vast, increase in technology and the world is changing rapidly, you will bear with me that we need to expose our children. Let them understand what is information technology. How can I use it? How can the children use it? For the betterment of their future, for, morally, educationally, socially, interactively, and you can name the rest. So you can bear with me. I'll insist again that we are in a technology era, and every human being from small to adult are supposed to understand and know how to use information technology.
Yes, yeah, but what is the potential in this domain, and what are we missing out on because we fail to embrace it at a very young age?
Okay, a very good example, right? I had a conversation with a parent from Cameroon, quite a number of them, not just one of them, and the feedback I get from the conversation is that their children go to school and the teachers give them assignments which they cannot, complete on time. Reason being because the assignments, the children are supposed to go to the internet and Google, do some researches. Now the parents come back to the teachers to tell them, oh, I'm sorry, my child could not complete the assignment because my child does not even know how to go to the internet. Can you imagine that in a time like this? So what is our take? We want these children at a very early age to embrace the use of researches online. Remember, Mr. Kumbat, we are in a world of, I'll call it, the world now is a global village, right? So we want our children to be able to know how to use technology at school, then building a foundation for them. The technology industry has a lot of opportunities for our children. How can they build their career around technology, or in the technology industry? I have had experience, a lot of experience, where I see many adults diverting, from their career into the IT industry. The reason is because IT industry has good jobs. They pay well. You can work from the comfort of your home, right? Now we are looking at our children. You can actually start up your own business. You will not rely on the government or on the system to provide a job for you. Once you are trained as an IT professional or you are exposed to IT technology, you can always start up something for yourself. So we want to build up our children at an early age and expose them to different opportunities. And like I said before, even if your child wants to grab dive into any career in future, either directly or indirectly involved in IT, he or she must use machines. He or she will use the internet. He or she will be exposed to Google. He will be exposed to a lot of systems that are directly or indirectly connected, like I said earlier, to information technology. And one of the main visions that we have is to let every child embrace IT as part of their daily living, right? You can bear with me. To teach children the correct and moral use of technology, to let every child in the world experience and understand IT in general, and grow their career paths and maximize other potentials that are related to this field accordingly. Yeah, thank you.
Yes, but now many of us grew up without having information or skills on information communication technology. How easy or difficult has it been for you to have moved into this industry?
Well, it has been a little bit challenging to move into this industry. The reason is because of background, right? So I want to move, my background is HR. I have a degree in geology and environmental science from the University of Buea. Then I have an MBA in human resource management. But when I moved to Canada, I realized that I could easily switch my career to IT, but I had that challenges. Why? Because I never had the exposure of information technology when I was growing up. Reason is because if you want to get into information technology at any level back home in Cameroon, you must maybe register in the school, right? You must be admitted in a college or the university, something like that, or high school. But now what we want to do is that we want these children to be exposed. You must not go into full academics to learn information technology. It doesn't matter what you study at school. So the challenge I had is that I did not study information technology at school. So I had to start studying information technology from scratch, even though I had an MBA. You get the point. So what are we trying to do? Now, we want every child from the age of even 8 years old to be exposed to this, so that if in case you want to do literature, even though you're doing literature during holidays or during after school hours, you are still getting the opportunity to know more of IT. So most of the main challenge I had was that I had to dive into IT at a later age in my life. Yeah. But of course, I had to work hard, and that's why I'll say I'm here today.
Now, let's talk about Abizen IT Consulting. It is a project that you are putting in place with a clear objective. Can you, in a summary fashion, tell us what Abizen IT Consulting has for Cameroon?
Of course. Thank you, Mr. Kum, for that question. Abizen IT Consulting is a registered incorporation here in Canada. It partners with Abizen Humanitarian Services, and their main objective, their mission, is to bring information technology to the doorsteps of every child worldwide, not only in Cameroon. The reason why we start with Cameroon is because, first of all, I'm a Cameroonian, and I want my country to get a taste of this, right? And our vision is to let every child in the world experience and understand the basics of IT. We partner with humanitarian services because we understand that back home, excuse me, we need internet, we need computer, we need electricity. So humanitarian services are going to help us bring this vision, sorry, excuse me, to our children at a very cheaper, cost. So we think about costing as well. So Abizen IT Consulting is here to make it easy for our children. And I don't want to only end at the stage of children, but even extending it to some adults who are interested, into getting into IT or getting some fundamentals of information technology. So that's our main vision. We create awareness, we teach the children, we create career paths for the children. So we are going to act as a coach to the children. I've had instances where many of my friends and the children as well, get to the university without a clear career path. So Abizen is here to help all our children and adults build a career path from an early age. Thank you.
And how do you intend to achieve that, Engineer Ewane? How do you get them to involve themselves at an early age? Are you going to be talking to parents who are watching us now, and there's structures that we are putting in place?
Okay, yeah. So of course we are dealing with children. The vision we have now is towards children, even though, like I said, some adults can actually join. We want to sensitize the parents. Let the parents understand the need of IT for their children. I have experienced that when I look at some countries and some communities like the Indians, the Chinese, the Japanese, you realize that at an early age, the parents coach them into what they actually become. You see the Jews, most of them are medical doctors, most of them are lawyers, right? This is basically because, the child grows up without anything in his or her mind. as a guide, as a guardian, as a parent, you want to guide this child into a better future. So my strategy is to get to as many parents as I can to create this awareness. Then they'll take it to the children.
Okay.
If that answers your question, does that answer the question?
Yes, but you did not tell us how this is going to be done practically. I'm talking about our structures. Are you going to create centers? Are you going to create schools? How is it going to operate?
Oh, yeah, thank you. Yeah, that's a very wonderful question, Mr. Kum. So we are going to create centers, but for now, we are starting virtually. This training is 8 weeks. The first 7 weeks will be virtual. So we're going to have classes online using Zoom, Slack, and Google Classroom. And then we have the last 1 week will be a week of a boot camp week where I have representative. Only boy there at the only at the studio is sorry, I call him Only Boy because he's my boy. He is a coordinator in Buea, and I have as Omexandre. He's a coordinator of Yaounde and Bamenda, and Only Boy will be coordinating Buea and Douala. So during the last week of the training, we are going to have a center where students will come to do practicals hands-on. Even though during the training virtually, students will be given, a lot of, opportunity to dirty their hands with the systems, build the systems from scratch, getting to know a lot of, other things in the information technology industry. But we will create centers for now. In the long run, we plan to have an educational center for development where children will be coming whenever they want to do assignments and all that. And that will be, of course, in Buea. We plan to do it, to create it in Buea, Douala, Yaounde, and Cameroon for now. As the vision, increases or expands, we plan to go to other provinces. And of course, we are looking at both the French and the English-speaking children as well. Everybody is welcome for the program. So that's our plan, Mr. Kum.
Okay. Tell me how things are operating in Buea. You are Onel Veluyen. Yes. How is it operating in Buea? What is happening at the level of the center in Buea?
Well, thanks again for having me. At the level of Buea, we still haven't set up an actual center for the working yet. That's what we're working on, because the classes are still going on online. Like you said, she's holding the Zoom meetings. But that's what we're working on now. The idea is that we're trying to create an environment and a space so that after these 7 weeks or so of the children having the knowledge and because they won't be able to have the actual physical implementation, since there'll be limitations like having the classes only over Zoom and online. So after these 7 weeks of them having an idea of what they're introduced to, they can now come, and the final week, and that's where the centers, like the active centers in both Buea and Yaounde, Douala, and Bamenda, as she said, will become more operational. So we set up activities like basic programming, basic computing skills. It doesn't have to be as complex as becoming professional, because remember that we're targeting kids and they need to actually find the fun in it. It's their parents, it's the responsibility of their parents to understand the importance of it, but the children are just going to need to find the fun in it and enjoy the journey.
Okay, enjoy the journey.
Yes.
Engineer Ewane, we are talking about an initiative that seeks to get our children across the board involved in IT at a very young age. You are in Canada and you are going to be working with these children and using Zoom. What would they require? What would they need to be able to benefit from your lessons?
Of course, we are dealing with systems, so they'll need computers. They will need maybe phones, desktops, laptops, and any system that can help them connect to the internet and install some applications that will help, them in the course of their studies. But I will emphasize that all of them will need computers, Windows computers.
Okay.
They will need internet as well, because they're supposed to be connected to the internet. Because even though the classes will be, recorded, and they can always go back to the records, but what we encourage in Abizen is that we encourage communication. We encourage the touch. So we are creating a touch with the students as well. So they will basically need systems to connect to the internet, and of course electricity. Yeah.
Okay, they'll need electricity, internet, and computers, but this is also a way to open up a career in IT for all of these students. So if you're a parent who is watching us this evening, this program is for you. As you plan to spend time with the children, we have been having routine holiday classes. I think this is the best holiday gift that a parent should give to their child. Hello, are you with us?
Sorry?
Yes. Are you getting? Did you get me? I say that as parents are preparing to receive students for holidays or their children, this is the best moment for them to give the best to their children, because what we have had all these years are the routine holiday classes that you do almost what you do in school.
Yeah, exactly, Mr. Kum Leonard. This is the reason why I am bringing this, training to us at this specific time of the year, right? So we want parents to encourage their children to engage in this training, so as a form of distracting them from the usual that they have at school every day, to getting into something that is, setting up a foundation for them. Our classes will be over the weekends, Friday, Saturday and Sundays, but we plan to bring classes during the week. It all depends how, we see that what would be beneficial for the children. But Mr. Kum, like you said, holidays is a time when we want our children to either learn a trade, learn new skills, be a better version of themselves than when they were going to school on Mondays and Fridays. So I think this is a wonderful opportunity for all our children to join and learn something new. And I bet you the parents will not regret this.
The parents will not regret this.
It's a very wonderful thing for our children. Yeah.
Yeah. But now, how intensive is this process going to be?
Oh yeah, it will be very intensive in the sense that we're gonna, the children will learn IT fundamentals. If you want me to talk a little bit about the curriculum, they will be exposed and understand what IT is all about, fundamentals of IT, the benefits of IT, real life application of IT, and most importantly, IT career landscaping. So within 8 months, after these 8 months, a child will be able to tell the mom or the dad or the guardian that, after these 8 months, I am able to troubleshoot a system. We also have, a session of coding and programming. What you and I are doing right here, Mr. Kum Leonard, you will bear with me, that is at the back end is made up of programming, is built on programming languages, right? So we'll have coding and programming for fun. We introduced our children to this earlier. We'll have boot camps and of course summer camps. When I talk about summer camps, what we are doing now is basically after the 7 months, we are diving into a summer camp, like O'Neill was talking about, where we have the children come in to get their hands dirty with some other stuff, right? So, I don't know if that answers your question, but after these 8 weeks, it will be so intensive that a child will be able to start doing graphic designing. So we are actually, bringing in something that can train a child to actually start a business or be employed.
Okay.
You know, I am here in Canada. I see a lot of opportunities online. We want our children to be able to be comfortable working online virtually and doing a lot of stuff, right? So it will really be intense because we are bringing in right up to networking, you know, databases, storage systems. We're bringing a lot of things that we know will be so beneficial to the children at the long run. Yeah.
Okay. They are going to benefit a lot from this initiative that you are putting together through Abizen IT Consulting. And 8 weeks is going to be the duration for the process. How do the parents or the children who may watch you and want to get registered, how does it happen? They see O'Neill or they get directly to you?
Okay, so we have a website where parents can go and, you know, look at what we're doing, and then there's a registration link right there. Parents can also reach us through O'Neill. He's a coordinator in Buea and Douala. And we also have Asa Omexandre. He's a coordinator of Yaoundé and Bamenda. Whichever number the parents choose to, you know, contact, they'll always get to, you know, to one of us, one of the three of us. My number is also on the flyers, and we'll be sharing that as well. So if any parent wants to reach me directly, the person can write to me. I'm available on WhatsApp and emails, through emails as well.
Okay. Now, this process, once the process goes through, the parents are asked to buy a computer for the child, make sure that there is internet, and then they follow through with the program that you're going to hand to them. But looking at some parents may think that this is expensive. How do you convince them that it is far cheaper than letting the children waste around doing nothing and then being exposed to some problems that may cause issues that may appear more expensive to providing them with this information? But then, how do you get the parents to understand that this is the beginning of a career path for the children?
Okay, Mr. Kum, thank you for that question. That's a very good one. I will let the parents understand by bringing them to a refresher, to a memory of the experiences that I've had so far, and taking them back to the present world of today and the level of unemployment, and maybe bringing in statistics to them on what on the difference between our Cameroonian children, our African children, and Chinese, and the children of Chinese parents, children of Japanese parents, Indian parents. You see a child at 15 creating an app, going viral, being a millionaire. It's not all about the money, sorry, but just making you to see the potential that other people, other countries who introduce IT technology to their children at an earlier age, what they are benefiting, right? So we do a comparison, we do a research, and then we see where we are. We remember we are in a world full of competition. We want to bring the best to our children. About the expenditure on how expensive a parent might think comparatively, of this program comparatively to what the child might, miss. Mr. Kum Leonard, I'll tell you straight up that education is the key. When I was growing up, my father would always tell me, he cannot give me silver, he cannot give me gold. The only thing he can give me is education. And now I understand what he meant. It doesn't matter how much you spend on a child. Imagine how much you will spend on a child if that child is useless. If that child goes out and joins bad friends during holidays. If that child decides to be nonchalant, doesn't care about anything. Can you buy a child's future with money? Computers are, I know one of the cheapest computers now is maybe 250,000 francs. That investment is an investment for a lifetime for that child. So I would say, let us make a comparison. Let's compare the present, era and what we have to give up in the future, what we expect from in the future. That's what will give us that urge, that happiness, that that zeal to spend for that child. What the child needs is a computer and an internet. Most parents I know already have internet. If you don't have it, we have phones that we activate internet from MTN and Orange, and we can connect that to our systems. And guess what? You don't need that internet, the internet, for a very long period of time. It's just 1 hour, 30 minutes to 2 hours every, either Mondays or Fridays, Saturdays or Sundays. So let's look at this, Mr. Kum Leonard. I'll tell the parents now, just sacrifice 4 hours every week for the betterment of your child's future by educating the child and exposing the child to IT technology, because you are preparing the child to embrace our technology era. You cannot change that. So if you cannot change what is going on in the world, look for strategies to get into what is going on into the world and benefit from it. We are in a technological era. Cost should not be a problem, right? During COVID, people locked up themselves in their houses. Reason is because they had no choice but to lock up themselves. This is technology right here in front of us, is sweeping across the nations. We don't want our children to be left behind. Else, when they go out there, they will be the least. That is more costly than a computer of 250,000 francs. And like I said earlier, Mr. Kum, my plan is to, bring in computers to our students. Like I said, I'm creating partnership with, humanitarian services, so we can have all this aid. We don't want any child, even a child back in the village, we don't want these children to be left out. So we are making it very, very easy and affordable for our parents. All what they need to do is to show interest and register. Show interest and register. Let money or cost not be a reason why the child should be left behind at this time of life, the technology era. Thank you.
Okay, you may have to answer this question to this parent who is writing from Yaoundé. Please, if you are watching the program and not too clear about what the engineer is saying from Canada, let us know. Put the question through my WhatsApp number. I'll put it to her to answer. Good evening, Mr. Leo, and the guests of today. Your programs are always too educative, and I really appreciate your hard work towards changing the minds of Cameroonians. Please, I just wish to ask the lady in Canada, is there any fee for registration? And for the kids, what is the minimum age to be eligible for the program? Theodore Mengot, writing from Yaoundé.
Yeah, thank you, Theodore, for your question. For the registration, is 5,000 francs, but the fees for the 8 weeks program is 50,000 francs CFA for each child. With admission, the ages for admission is from age 10 years old to 18 years old. So within that range, a child can register. We plan to bring in programs for younger children from the age of 7 to the age of 9. So we are bringing it to that level as well. You bear with me that children have a lot of games online. If you give your child your phone, you'll be so surprised what that child will do with that phone. So we want to bring in programs that will help them as well.
Okay.
So, did that answer your question, Tito?
Okay. Good evening, sir. I'm currently watching this program. I am interested and would like to have the contact and more information. What happens to parents in remote areas who cannot afford laptops and internet keys? Okay. I've sent you the engineer's number so that you can exchange with her. But what about children who are in these remote areas? Have you figured out anything?
That is actually where my heart cries. My plan is to create a center. So it all depends, right? I want to create a center where we're going to have solar panels. So we have, this is a very big vision, Mr. Leonard, okay? So we plan to create centers with solar panels. Solars where we have computers and laptops, everything set up for the children. So at home, they might not have the space. They might not have even lighting. They might not even have the internet key like one parent is talking about, but they will be exposed to, you know, benefiting from this program. So for now, for the people who are in remote areas, we can ask them if your parents have a phone, like do you have a phone that you can connect, you know, to any meeting? If you have a phone as a parent, then we'll send the link to your child to connect. During boot camp, if your child is in the vicinity of Bamenda, Douala, Yaoundé, or Buea, we're going to ask you to come to the center where you meet one of the coordinators, and you'll be exposed to a laptop, and that's when you get your hands dirty with all these things, right, Mr. Kum? So for now, we cannot really dive into the villages to really give them that much help, but that is, of course, in our vision. We have come to better the world. We have come to stay. Okay. So for now, I'll plead with parents. Your child can use your phone 1 hour, 30 minutes. I'll say 3 hours highest every week to connect to the classes, take down some notes, get familiar with the IT terms, and then, you know, during boot camp, he or she will actually get his or her dirty with a laptop. So for now, if you don't have a laptop, that is not an issue. If your parent have a phone and can activate internet at any level, you are free to join. You're free to register.
Okay. Good evening to you, Mr. Kum, and to the guest speaker of today, coming all the way from Canada. I love this program, Mr. Kum, and all that the woman is saying is nothing but the truth. It's really... Oops. Mr. Kum, all that the woman is saying is nothing but the truth. It's really the beginning of career path for children, like she stipulated, because in some few years from now, Mr. Liu, you will be in mind with me that no one will be taken into any office without the person having an ICT knowledge. Stop calling. Just send your messages, please. Don't call. Send a message. I'll read it out. ICT knowledge, because the world is evolving and becoming more of digital. This also might feel as I'm into digital. I'm also into digital marketing and cyber security, and of course we are also offering holiday classes in Yaoundé behind Mogamo Express. God bless you, Mr. Liu, for always bringing such brilliant orators to guide our children on the right path. Chika Divine is watching live from Yaoundé. So many persons are watching from Yaoundé. But now, Engineer Winnie, some persons may say, okay, this is a little bit expensive, but not knowing that most of their children, especially secondary school children, university children, spend most of their times on the social media, using internet, using their phones, and that this is just an opportunity to redirect them to know that instead of just WhatsApping, Facebooking, get a little bit serious, and this could just be an opportunity to begin a new career for your life.
Yes, of course, Mr. Kum, exactly. That's it. And I believe that the parents know about it already, right? That's why before this vision ever came up, I looked at what our youth are actually doing. How do they spend their time? You know, how do they really spend their time? Divert your energy towards something productive. I will emphasize again that it is not all about the money. You bear with me that 50,000 francs is not even up to the registration of, you building an career in university. You will bear with me. All that is in this package for 50,000 francs. You will be shocked that after that training, you'll be able to do a lot. And I here to coach you. So we are like we are doing a networking kind of relationship with you. We are creating a relationship with you to push you into the future. You get the point. So like you said, Mr. Kum, we are trying to redirect their interest. You know, I already got some information from some other children. Speaking with them, they tell me, okay, Auntie Winnie, you know, I'm done with my exams. When I'm done with my exams, I want to have some fun. I've been reading for a while. I want to have some rest. Now you ask yourself, this is just a youth. He's talking about finishing exams and having some time of enjoyment. What is the enjoyment all about? Hanging out with friends to do stupid things that will not benefit you in the future and maybe landing in trouble. We have this mindset of, oh, I've studied a lot, I need a break. Yeah, you need 3 days of break to relax and sleep, but then you dive in because we are in a world of continuous change and improvement. You get the point? So, Mr. Kum, I think what you said, I buy that idea a lot. Let us redirect the energy that our children are putting into social media and all these other, medias to education. And we are making it real fun. 8 weeks of excellence.
Okay.
I have testimonies coming up already. We have children from Canada. A training session is already going on. I have children from Nigeria, Cameroon, and Canada, right? So we see that I'll be coming up with testimonies again to encourage the children from children themselves who are in the program presently.
Okay.
Thank you.
Greetings, sir and ma'am. Very nice program and initiative. Please, what about someone who is 40 years and needs the knowledge? Can we join? Too. Thanks. Zuma is writing. Zuma, I've sent you Engineer Winnie's number. But is this program also open to people who may have not had this opportunity, but who are aged already, but who think that they still are open to learning?
Yes, of course, Mr. Leonard. Remember, I told you earlier that we have a whole session on IT career landscaping, right? So if you want to dive into the IT industry, this is a very good foundational course for you, foundational training for you. And don't be surprised that when you're done with this course, you'll be able to pick up a job. There is this saying that learning never ends. I remember when I used to travel from Buea to Bamenda, I used to have these guys, they'll come in the bus and they'll tell you learning never stops, right? Never ends. And they'll tell you, even when you are dying, you are learning because you've never died before. So you are dying for the first time. So you're actually learning how to die, right? So it's never too old to learn. I have people who are 60 years old, changing career. Like I said, my friends, my parents, my brothers, my sisters, we are in a technology era. Everything is changing. It doesn't matter how old you are. You want to get yourself to that stage of life or anything you want to do that you are comfortable and happy to do it.
Okay.
I changed into the IT career. I don't want to tell you my age, but I was in my early 30s. So you can also change. It doesn't matter the age. You are very much available and I will help you. I have a team who actually help you. So we welcome every person, even though now our focus is on children age 10 to 18, it doesn't matter. You can join the class anytime. We can actually create a session for you if you don't want to join your children in class. So we are actually here, like I said, to create this IT awareness and create expose opportunities in the IT industry for you. It doesn't matter your age.
Good.
Thank you.
Good evening. Good evening with me. Today, Mr. Leo, it's Prosper writing from Yaoundé. I would like to know what output can be gained from this knowledge. Can you just take down some of the message of some of the questions, and then when I read through, you answer them?
Okay, just give me a second. I'll grab a pen.
Okay. So, I would like to know what output can be gained from this knowledge, like what's the immediate output which can be gotten from the IT session. You are writing from Yaoundé. I've sent you her number. You can talk with her directly. Hello, Mr. Kum. I love this program. Ask the lady if those who are already more than 18 years are interested in the program. Lukong is writing from Gaundere. I'm far more than 18 years and willing to register for the program. Just get to Engineer Winnie. I've sent you her number so that you can discuss that with her. But like she said, a session is going to be created for persons like you who may not want to attend classes with children. Good evening, Mr. Elio. The program is very interesting. Please, for the madam's number, please, where is the place situated in Bamenda? These classes are going to be done from their respective... Winnie, are you there?
I'm here. Yes, please.
Yes. Some persons are asking where the classes are going to take place. Can you describe that? Each person is attending the class from their respective homes. You just need to create time, create space where you are going to place your computer or your laptop, or you use your phone, but you are doing it from your homes.
Yes. So, like I said earlier, this course, this training is virtually. We will use Zoom and Google Classroom and Slack. These are all softwares that you're going to download either in your phone, your tablet, or your laptop, or your desktop, wherever you are. You just need to activate internet, and then, of course, when you register, I'll have your link. So I'll send you the link to the class. You will join the class from anywhere. So even if you are busy and you're in the market, and you can join the class and watch and see what is going on in the class. But of course, whenever you are settled, you have to do your assignment and submit them.
Okay.
Does that answer the question? For the boot camp, now the course is structured like this. We will have 7 days of online training, and then we'll have 5 days, that's 1 week, of in class. We call that boot camp, where you will come in class and meet with the coordinators, and you get to get into computers, do some stuff with the computers, especially for those that don't have computers. So if you don't have a computer, you are attending the class with your phone, you have the opportunity to come in class in a center that will be shared to you. After the 7 weeks of virtual training, you come in class and do some stuff, if that makes sense. Did that answer that question? Did I answer that question, Mr. Kum?
Yes, you just need to get a pen and paper to jot down some of these questions here, because the messages are so many.
Okay.
Hi.
Yeah, and I have another question here. I did not answer that one, sorry. About the outcome, right? The outcome of the program.
Yes.
The outcome of the program, you will understand the different IT careers. You will get to understand networking. You will be able to understand data storage. You'll be able to understand the fundamentals of information technology. You will get your hands dirty with graphic designing. So after this course, you actually have a software that you can use to start building. You can either start building your own, a business by creating some content. So we have, a mod for graphic designing. You get your hands dirty with coding as well, like I said. So by the time you're done, you'll be able to troubleshoot information systems and get into some details on incident management, right? So you come out with a lot of, knowledge after the system. Thank you, Mr. Kum.
Hi, it's Clivet writing from whom. I want to know how much is the registration. Okay, preferably you should make this request for numbers on WhatsApp, because to exchange with them, you may have to do it through WhatsApp, though they also have the normal lines. I will share the numbers with you at the end of the program. Hello, Mr. Kum. How are you? Live the guest speaker of the day, but how can I get her? I'm an IDP and I lost my mom at the age of 7. Sharon is writing there. Okay, Sharon, you will need to write to her using WhatsApp. Good evening, Mr. Leo. Please, when is the class starting? Rudolph is writing from Bomenda. Rudolph, I will send you Engineer Winnie's number so that you can you guys just make this request on WhatsApp, please? I'm pleading with you guys. Make the request on WhatsApp. This one says, after studying a course of this nature, how can it benefit me in my career? Because now I'm in a public health specialist. I'm sure it's going to help you. Public health also has to do with IT. Good evening, Mr. Liu. Nice program coverage. I'm learning a lot. Please, for the engineer's number. Andong is writing from Bamenda. Good evening to you, Andong. This one says, I'm interested in enrolling my child for the online computer training. How can I register? Okay, please, can you stop calling? Just send a request on WhatsApp. I'll send you Engineer Winnie's number. Good evening, Mr. Kuma. I enjoy this topic today. I'm interested. Please, I'm Dorothy, writing from Bamenda. Good evening to you, Dorothy. Can you just write to Engineer Winnie? Hello, good evening. What is the education level of the children? Okay, I'm sure, Engineer, you are taking down the notes and that you're going to provide answers to them. Stop calling, please. Hello, good evening. I'm interested in joining the computer training. Please, okay, you just have to write to Engineer Winnie. She will get to you back with. Can you people stop calling? Can you stop calling, please? It is even difficult for me to read the messages because of the calls coming. This one says, please, I need her number. Help us, okay? Oops. Yes, the calls are disturbing. So many messages coming in with calls. Now, tell me a little bit about the program itself. I see here program IT Fundamentals, IT Career Landscaping. What is that all about?
Okay, yeah, so now that's diving into the curriculum, right? So IT, the fundamentals of IT. We're going to learn about Windows operating systems. We're going to learn Linux operating systems. These are the main systems that all industries in the whole world, including Cameroon, use at work, basically. We're going to learn databases. We're going to learn networking. We'll have a model on computer management systems, how you can troubleshoot your computer if it has a problem. We're going to study computer software and hardware. My last class was very interesting when I had the students, getting to know the various parts of the computer, getting to understand, what is my system made up of? If my computer is running low, what can I do? You can actually build up a career just from this class on hardware and software. Right? Yeah. We're going to learn, like I said, a little bit of graphic and designing, some coding language, and of course, we're going to see the real life application of IT. So in your quarter where you are, how can you make yourself very productive to your neighbor, to your environment, to your community by learning what we have in this training? Okay. And I was writing down some of the questions.
Okay.
I want to just answer the ones that I picked from you, Mr. Kum. For the registration, we have a link. We have a website. You can always just go to our website, and you will get the link to register. When you register, it's an automation process. So immediately you register, I'll get your data, and I'll reach out to you. You see everything I need from you, the data I need from you. You just fill in your name, your number, where you're registering from, and the team will get back to you. For my number is also, Mr. Kum, I don't mind you sharing my number on screen. So I already get a number of, okay, thank you. I can see a number of people reaching out already. I promise you, I will reach out to you accordingly. If you want more information, that's okay. I had a question on IDP. I just need you to write to me. We're going to manage that accordingly, okay? If you're an IDP, you write to me. We're going to manage that. And somebody asked a question, Mr. Kum, on public health. Okay, you will bear with me that in hospitals you need technology. You cannot even debate that, right? In the course of this, Mr. Kum asked me a question in the course of this presentation, this interview. And my response to that question that was related to why do we what's a BZ up to? I made mention of needing IT in our everyday life, either directly or indirectly. I made mention of how babies in the womb, from even when a woman goes to do a pregnancy test, that pregnancy test, whatever stripe they are using is basically codes that has been written to dictate, whatever hormone or whatever thing, I'll just call it thing because we are not, into science now, that code will dictate if there is a baby in that woman or no. So that is all technology. So you are in the public health, all the radiology you're doing, the echography you're doing, the systems you use, right, to do echography, those are all information technology systems, hardware and software. So it will really help you in your public health. Educational level for children, a question was related to educational level for children. Like I said, it doesn't matter if your child is at the age of 10. Anybody from the age of 10, you can join if the child can read and write. If you notice that your child is 7 or even 5 and your child can go to your phone and search stuff. I know of 4-year-old children who take your parents' phone and go to YouTube and search things. If your child is that smart to start manipulating computers, tablets, you can enroll your child. Okay, but of course, with children, they will need guardians, so you need to be beside them, to help them focus and all that. That's why we advise just wait for your child to be 10 years old, but we have programs that we are bringing in for the younger children that will really, really be fun. We are going to build applications and games with simple code. The next question, okay, most of the questions are related during our registration and how much. Like I said, registration is 5,000 francs and the fee is 50,000. So when you register 5,000 francs, by the time you're rounding up your boot camp, you're supposed to complete your fees. That is for 8 weeks, that's 2 months. Somebody asked when we are actually starting. It's on the 1st of July. We already have a present batch going on now. So the next batch of training starts on the 1st of July. So we have the whole month of June to register.
Okay.
Mr. Kum,
yes.
I have answered all the questions you sent to me. So
yes, so you just listen to some of them and then take note. Hello, good evening. I'm Valrolin, writing from your care. I'm interested in the program. How can I register and when will the registration begin? I need the numbers, please. Okay, you have her number there with you. This one says, hi, good evening, Mr. Liu. It's Pascal writing from Limbe. I'm enjoying this program, please. I need the engineer's number. I'm interested to join. Good evening, sir. I've been following your program for some minutes now. I'm interested, but how do I get started? You just write to the engineer. She'll take time to respond to you, I'm sure. This one says, please for Madam's number. Okay, Madam's number is sent to you. Good evening, Mr. Liu. I'm Angel writing from Banyu. Please, can I have the engineer's number? Okay. Good evening, Mr. Liu. James in Melong. I need her contact. Okay. Glad to know that you guys are watching from across the. Hello, sir. Good evening. Please, I would like to have the engineer's number so children IDPs in Fundong can get registered. Okay. But now, Engineer Winnie. Please, can you stop calling? Just write me on WhatsApp, and if you need her number, I'm going to share the number with you. Now, IDPs, there are so many, that we are living a situation in Cameroon where so many children have not gone to school because of the ongoing crisis. Some are displaced. Is there any special package for children who are IDPs?
Of course, there's a special package for them. But Mr. Leonard, I will say that we need to understand their situations, right? So I make mention of all, I had one student making one someone who is interested said he is an IDP. So I said the person should write me directly. So what happens back home is we have our coordinators. So in the course of registration, we are going to understand different scenarios. We will have a body on ground that represents APIZEN for the internally displaced persons, right? So we are going to have special care help for them. And like I said, I'll emphasize on that again. That's why I really want to partner with a lot of humanitarians so that I know, so that we can help. I know we already have other people who are helping our IDPs back home. We are not different from them, right? So we support that as well. So yes, Mr. Kum.
Okay. You support
we have a package for them.
Initiative. Now, graphic design and coding and programming for fun, how does that operate?
Okay, now you're diving deep into the course. We are going to treat you, those are different models in the course of the training. So we'll have a model where we'll teach you what is graphic designing, what do you do, and you actually design something. Same thing for programming and the programming language, and same thing for the coding for fun, where you learn a specific programming language and you will use it to code something just for fun. Now, you will start enjoying coding, you start enjoying the language that you use to code, and why not? You can dive to code something mega. Like I said, we have 15 years old back, in other countries like China, actually creating application from scratch. This is exactly how they were exposed and how they started.
Yes,
thank you.
Engineer Ewane, when you left here, you were not into IT. What caught your attention? Yes, why did you get into it? Is it because of the money or the many opportunities?
Okay, many opportunities and the money and integration to the technology era. You get it? So what I realized is that even though I had all the skills as an HR, I got a job as an HR, good. But I was not very comfortable because I'll leave the comfort of my home, I'll leave my children to go to work. We have this thing in our mind that when you come to the developed world, you have no time for yourself. I realized that in the IT industry, you could actually have time for yourself while working and make good money. Then I realized that I could easily integrate myself in the environment where I am and all over the world. I could easily speak and feel valued because I had the knowledge in IT. So I realized that I started having a lot of opportunities, Mr. Kum, a lot, uncountable opportunities. I can't tell you. That's why I am coming back with this to my country and to youths growing up and to any adult who wants to change.
What is the advantage?
There's something in life that I'll say. There's a point in your life where you think about achievement, you think about comfort, and you think about influence, about impact. I'll tell you for free, if you are not versed in IT, you will not be able to have influence or impact in the life of anybody. You can have it at a level. I'm not saying that you must do IT to have. Don't get me wrong. Don't quote me, and don't take what I'm saying. Don't interpret what I'm saying to mean something else. What I'm saying is that even if I want to communicate with you now, I use information technology, right? So whether you like it or yes, if you want to have impact, influence in the life of anybody, you will use technology. That's basically what I mean.
Yes,
so, my dear friends,
what we are doing,
IT good, it has a lot of money, but that's not the main reason why I join it. Even though you get rich, honestly, you will be rich. The reason why we train our children, right, Kum? You tell me, Mr. Kum, that we want our children to be responsible, to be independent financially, to be comfortable, right? IT has all that. Yeah.
IT has all of that, but I was saying that a clear example of how impactful IT could be is the fact that you are in Canada and talking to almost everybody in Cameroon today. This is also information communication technology, because you are talking to us using Skype. But how capital, how so important is it for children to get introduced at a very tender age?
Sorry, I have a network hitch. Can you repeat that again?
I was asking how capital, how important is it for children to get into the IT world at a very tender age?
We are living in a time of technology, rapid change in everything. A child, I will repeat this again, Mr. Kum, from when a child is born to when that child becomes an adult, that child is either directly or indirectly impacted by information technology. So it will be a good thing to let our children so it will be a very good thing for us to expose our children at an early age. Let them know that IT is basically part of their everyday living. Every day of their life, they'll be engaged in one information technology, system or the next. So it will help them to be more confident in the society they live in. Imagine that I bring a child from Canada and I go to my village, Babanki. I want my child from Babanki to be as confident, as the child from Canada. I don't want the child from Babanki to feel as if, because I'm not from Canada, I don't have what it takes to be who I am. No. The only difference between a child who is so naive from Babanki and a child from Canada, the difference is their exposure to information technology systems. You get it? So that is very important to me. It builds them, gives them the confidence. And then what about the moral part of it, Mr. Kum Leonard? You bear with me. The reason why most of our children are scammed, you take your mother's phone, by the time you reach the road and come back. I had an experience. Somebody came into the house, took my mother's phone because somebody scammed her on the road. Because she did not even understand. You have a stranger calling you and asking you to write a specific code in your system, and you are doing that when you don't even know the person. Most especially, I did forget to add that. I forgot, sorry. We are also teaching security, how to secure your system, both at a personal level and an organizational level, Mr. Kum Leonard. You get it? So we want our children to be versed with IT, embrace IT at an early age so that they can live with IT as part and parcel of their daily life, because we are in a technological era. They can use IT correctly and morally. We don't want our children to become scammers. We don't want them to join the bad boys. They should know that the same energy, Mr. Kum, that a child will use to scam is the same energy and technology that the child will use to make money genuinely online. We want to bring this to our children at an early age. We want to let them understand the basics at an early age that will build them, a better career path and a future. So I think this is very, very important, because there is no way you would tell me, even in the village, our parents have phones. That is information technology already. Let us build it in the life of our children.
Okay. Good evening, sir. Thank you very much for your programs. Are indeed educative. Talking about children growing in the IT knowledge and skills, I want to thank you, Madam Ewane, for this wonderful initiative. I am a cloud engineer, and I will say we need this program so much in Cameroon, because the future of Cameroon lies in the IT industry. And secondly, I want to encourage each and every parent to enroll their children, because to me, I would say a program as such has been made less costly, because of my own knowledge. Programs as such are ever expensive. Thank you. Aka Sandra is writing from Douala here. This one says, good evening, sir. Send me the number of the engineer. Is writing from Buea. Good evening to you. And to all of you guys watching us from the Southwest Regional Capital, Buea, city of legendary hospitality. Hello, I'm Kabo. I'm interested, please, for her contact. Okay. Good evening, sir. Please, can I get Madam's number for my child to attend the program? Camilla is writing from Bonaberry in Douala. Good evening, Mr. Liu. It's Kibe Marcel from Yaoundé. Please, how much is the registration? Can you just get directly to her? We have answered that question already. Mr. Kum, you always have teachings programs. I would like my son to have IT knowledge. Please help me with Madam Winnie's contact. Okay. So many requests are coming in. Yes, but you just raised the issue that almost everybody is using their phone. But what are they using the phones for, Madam Winnie, from what you've gathered so far? Almost every home. You find, if you get to a home today, almost every child is on the phone, working. Almost every parent is on the phone, working. But how profitable, how efficient are they in the time that the waste on phones? Because that is already IT.
Of course, that's already IT. That's why I said that I was, confirming with you on the point that we should direct our energy. We should direct our intentions on how we use phones every day to something profitable. I can be on my phone on a specific website, doing marketing, selling a product, and making money at that same time. I can be doing a research that will give me some cash. But you'll be on your phone, maybe playing games, chatting for 2 hours with a friend, nothing productive. I can be on my phone with a specific application I've just installed, and I create an invitation for someone who is maybe holding a party or any occasion. And you will pay me because I have an idea on how to design something like, an invitation, right? Where did I learn those skills? I learned the skills by studying. So don't be surprised that your 12 years old child will tell you, hey, daddy, do you have anybody, hey, mommy, auntie, do you have anybody who have an occasion? Or he might even eavesdrop you talking about an occasion, and he will tell you, give me that contract. I want to print all the invitations. Give me that contract. I want to, to do something related to this event. You will be so surprised what your child will be able to do. Right? So we need to dive our attention. This is holiday. My dear parents, don't allow your child to go back to class and learn mathematics, learn English. It is good, but that child was just learning those things before the holidays. Teach your child another skills. He or she already know English. Now let him use that English to be trained in this information technology program. Right? So yes, Mr. Kum, that is very, very important. Like I said earlier, in the villages, we have phones. So you have no excuse because you are calling with your phone, you are on WhatsApp with your phone, you're on Facebook with your phone. You need to give your son or your daughter 4 hours every week to use your phone educatively, morally, to gain confidence, to create a career path for him or herself. We need to maximize the potentials of our children. They have a lot in store in them. We are the parents and the guardians. Let us come together in this technology era to build that thing, that to maximize that potential, which is in the inside of our children.
Okay.
That potential in the inside of your child.
Now, so many requests are coming in for your number, engineer. We need, but some persons also want to know whether a certificate is going to be awarded at the end of the 8 weeks training.
Yeah, I'm not surprised about that question, right?
Yeah.
We all want certificates. Give me a second, please. I have a lot of people reaching out now, so I just want to mute my system. 1 second. Okay, I know we all want certificates to prove that we've gone through this program. Yeah, this Abizen is a registered, incorporation. So of course, we are not giving you a certificate like a degree certificate. You can have a degree in 2 weeks, in 8 weeks, right? So we'll give you an attestation of completion, specifying the skills you have learned. So we will even help you, like I told you earlier about career guidance. We'll even help you to build up a resume on what you have learned so far within the 8 weeks. So you can use that to even look at internship in a bigger organization if you want to work as, if you are looking for, to join any organization. So we'll actually help you with that. So yes, Mr. Kum, and whoever asked that question, you have something, you have an attestation to show that you actually went through Abizen IT training, and we specify the skills you had. And if you want to, we can help you to build a career path on that as well.
Now, after 8 weeks, what happens is the boot camp. After the boot camp, everybody goes back, and is there going to be a follow-up or a phase 2 of the training?
Okay, there will be a network system. After the 8 weeks, we keep in touch. We'll have a Slack channel. All the students will be in touch. Okay, so you will be having some things to do. I'll be sending in little projects for you to complete. I'll be able to recommend you as well. It depends on how serious you are, because we work diligent is one thing. So it's not like you will just come in and learn the skills and know that, okay, I have the skills, and then you just go and look for somewhere and sit. Or you, of course, after the program, you are in school, you continue your normal activity at school, your normal training, usual training at school, till maybe you graduate from maybe the university or high school or whichever level of education you are at. But we'll be available to train you, to coach you. But I'll use the word coach, we'll be able to coach you throughout. So even though you'll be at school, don't be surprised that you can start making money. Now, after you're done with your education at advanced level, because we want you to go to school normally at your advanced level, we are just bringing it to add to the betterment of your life and your career, right? So if you want to dive into something, if you want to dive into maybe be a network administrator, a database administrator, a computer hardware engineer, computer software engineer, a software developer, a DevOps engineer, IT security, whatever career you want to choose, right? After your advanced level, you want to continue your education in any area, be it in a college or a university, we are here to help you. Okay, we're here to guide you. So it's not like after this training, I'm done with you. No, my friends, my family, I want to let you know that we are here to guide you all through till the end.
Okay.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah, you're there to guide them all through to the end. And yeah. Are you already envisaging? No, you said that physical centers are going to be erected in Cameroon with time.
Yes.
How soon are we going to get that done?
Yes, Mr. Kum, please, can you let everyone know that we are still in the course of the interview? I will get back to them. I've started having calls already. I have a lot of WhatsApp messages. Like I said, I will respond accordingly. Please don't call me now. We can always talk. Okay, I'm available for you. That's why I am right here with Mr. Kum Leonard. Mr. Kum, can you ask your question again? Sorry.
Yes, I was talking about the fact that now these sessions are going to be virtual because they will study from their homes. But how soon are we going to get physical centers that are running across the nation where people can readily go there and get services?
By the time we get to the last week, the boot camp, we will be able to have a physical center. So remember I said we have 7 weeks virtually, right? So that last week, before we get to that last week, we'll be able to share the venue to the children, to the trainers. We'll be able to share that to the trainers. So we are actually working on that now. We are still doing virtual. We have not had, by the first week of July, we'll be having the first boot camp. So we'll have a venue, and the class that starts, the training class that starts on the 1st, by the time they are getting into that July, August, by the time they're getting into September, I know most of them will be going back to school. We'll have a weekend like a Saturday, right?
Okay, we are having some technical issues there with Engineer Winnie. We hope that is sorted out. But we're talking about going physical here. O'Neill, you are okay. Winnie, can you continue?
Okay, yeah. So I have O'Neill right there in the studio, and I have Asil as well. These two are the coordinators in Cameroon. So for the venues, you can always reach out to them. But we're going to, like, let the population know, let our parents know the venues of the boot camp. And Mr. Leo, just to add to that, we hope that by next year, July, during, after the GCE, like during the summer holidays, by next year, July, our presence will, we're going to have some sessions where we'll have classes in the centers. So we are working towards that as well.
Okay, so very shortly, you're already working on that, on it?
Yes, we are. The centers, like I said earlier, the centers are already being set up. Myself, I haven't really spoken about myself since we're introducing the program, but hopefully you can get to know more about me, because I'm sure some parents will be wondering if the online coordinators have the necessary expertise to handle their children and the training. So we'll get more to that. But in terms of, to answer your question, yes, those centers are being readily made available, at least for the bootcamp.
Okay. When we talk of training and also preparing young children for the future, we want to know about the competence of those who are going to be handling this. How competent, credible are the persons who are going to be dishing out this knowledge, engineer?
Oh, wonderful question. If I'm a parent, I'll ask that same question, right? I want to be sure. And only why you can introduce yourself so our parents know you, that he's a genius. He has a degree in computer engineering in the University of Buea. Please, only boy, and can you introduce yourself?
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, yeah, like she said, I spent the last 4 years out of 5, after the previous 5, having a degree at the University of Buea. I graduated with high honors. I was in the top 3 to 5, I think 5% of my class. So that's just for the academic, my academic records. Now, in terms of my expertise, I'm actually one of those kids who was fortunate to get introduction to computing knowledge at a younger age. So although I had a normal childhood, I used to play around, I used to have fun, but I did spend a lot of time. I spent a lot of time, I beg your pardon, on computers. I remember I using my mom's laptop and stuff like that, and it got me more into learning to code, learning to program, up to a stage where I actually started getting actual remote work. And I would say, yeah, there's definitely the financial reward to that. And the reason why we're targeting kids primarily is because I've already been doing tutoring. I think it will be a very nice experience to handle kids, since I'm already in that field. I think I've been doing tutoring training, so handling children between the ages of 10 to 18. I was that age not so long ago, as I'm sure it's easy to tell. So I know exactly what the interest of a child will be at that age, and I know the kind of projects that they will definitely they will have an interest in after covering the 7 weeks of the introduction. So when we talk about coding, I just wanted to drop that in there. You might get a bit of a scare thinking that it's all about having a big screen and some dark screens with some funny complex stuff. Yeah, there's that part to it, but the idea is that we're trying to still introduce these children. There's really very basic and easy things which they can learn while appreciating the fundamentals of IT.
Okay. When we talk about the fact that this is a virtual, it means that if you have your kids who are in Yaoundé, all you need to do is set them up in your house in Yaoundé. Those who are in Meganga, you set them up in Meganga. Those who are in Garoua, set them up in Garoua. Wherever they are, in Bafut, in Balmayo, in Douala, and all of them are following your classes. And they go. That's what we're talking about here.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, please. Yeah.
I want you to explain it. What we mean by virtual class. Yeah. Let us understand. People should not think that because they are found maybe in Banyu, maybe they are found in Mora or Marwa, they are not part of this project.
Okay, so virtual learning schedule basically means that wherever you are just supposed to get an internet, get either a phone, a tablet, or a computer. A link to your class will be sent to you. You click on the link, and then you get into the class. You will meet me right there. The same way you are seeing me now, that's exactly how you're going to see me during the training. But it will be kind of a difference because in the course of the training, I'll actually ask you to go to your system, or if you cannot get to your system, I will show you some things by sharing my system for you to see what is on my system. You get the point. Wherever you are, you will be able to join the class and learn. For the locations, we have a location in Yaoundé. We will have, a location in Yaoundé for the boot camp. So I know for those who are in Gaoundéré and all those far places, it will kind of, be a little bit stressful for your children to come to Yaoundé. But our plan is that if it's possible for your child to come, no, it's fine. If it's not possible for your child to come for the in-class boot camp, the boot camp will still be virtually. So a very good example, now you're seeing me on live, correct? Assuming that we are in a class and I'm teaching you computer hardware and other external components of a computer. Now, Mr. Kum, I'll go to my camera. Can you see this? What is this? This is a mouse. Right, this is a mouse, and I'll turn around. Give me a second, Mr. Kum. I want to grab something. I'll come up with something like this. Look at this. Can you see this? This is part of a motherboard. And I'll ask you, if you open any system, this is what you're going to see. You get the point? So it doesn't matter. If you can come to the center, that would be a good thing. If you cannot come, you will still be connected, but it will still be virtually. And whatever you will learn during the bootcamp virtually, if you cannot make it to the center, will be the same. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Does that answer the question? Yeah.
Okay. So I hope we understand what we're talking about here. Irrespective of where you are, you get the lessons and the notes, if at all they are going to be giving a note for you. This one says 3/4 of Northwest region does not have good internet network. How can we manage the situation? Okay. Good evening, Mr. Liu. I'm Elizabeth from Yaoundé. I'm interested in the program. Can I have the number? Okay, Elizabeth, I'll send you the engineer's number. Greetings. Liu, I want to thank you for today's program. I wish to ask, is the program only for children? Bernard is writing from Yaoundé. So many persons have taken interest above the ages of the age of 18. You said earlier on that a special session. Are you guys thinking about what to do already?
Yes, definitely. We are thinking about older people. One, I'm not going to disclose much information, but one of the things I've spent some time doing is getting to a working organization that trained specifically adults of all age groups. I mean, I'm talking from 18 to probably 60. So that's definitely, but we don't want to. It was in a more professional environment. So those were training people to work in an actual professional environment. So if I can do that, then I think we should be very capable of handling people who are still, excuse me, people who are still who are novice sort of, and are trying to get into the IT world. So yeah, definitely. But for now, as she has said, it's the holidays. Children are getting out of school. You don't want them to be idle at home. You don't want them to get into the wrong things. So it's an equal opportunity. And I think one thing as parents, I'm not a parent yet, but one thing I've noticed from parents is they want to provide their children with things which they value they didn't have experience, exposure to some of the things that we have now. So we need to take advantage of that and introduce the children to that early enough so that in 2, 3, 5 years from today, you can actually have children who are making tremendous impact to the world as other children in different parts of the world are doing.
So now, I have planned to travel to Canada, but I need a trip to have a working visa in Canada. Can your program be help? I don't know whether that is what we're discussing. I can get to Engineer Winnie. Good evening, please. I'm watching from I don't know that they will also create a training center in Buea that should also be in the pipeline. Please get to them. They will answer you. Now, Engineer Winnie, I want us to go back to what you said earlier on. Good evening, Mr. Liu. Writing from Bamenda, please, can you send me the madam's number? The number is on the screen. I'm talking about the best gifts that we can give to the kids during the summer holidays. Should be an opportunity for them to get these skills in IT and knowledge on IT, because we may be planning to spend lavishly on them to make them relax as much as possible. But the best gift that you can give to your child is the knowledge and skill, because it is also going to be something away from the routine English, maths, economics, history that they get over the years.
Yeah, Mr. Leonard, that's exactly. So, like I said earlier, and I'll still emphasize on this, right? I want to bring a scenario to you. I've been in school for 9 months. I was taught all the subjects at school. And by the time I round up, I have these subjects, 10, 11, 12 subjects. These subjects are good because they actually help to build me up in my academics. What about the skills? What about these soft skills that I can learn that will help me easily integrate into the present world, into the ever-changing and evolving world that is ruled, I'll say, by technology? What's that thing? So I would rather train my child or help my child to be trained in that skill that will help him or her to integrate. Even though he or she learned all these, all the subjects, maybe he wants to do literature. At the end of the day, will he write the book without a software? How would he write the book without typing, without saving his information in a storage, in a database, and all those type of things, right? So we want to expose our children to something that is very, very important in the present. You tell everyone, please stop calling me. When you call, you are interrupting the interview. Please don't call. Please, I will respond to you. Keep your messages and I will respond. I am still in the interview. Thank you very much. So, Mr. Leonard, like I was saying, we want to give our children opportunities during the holidays to learn something new. I know parents who send their children to go to learn tailoring, hairdressing, right? And some other things, which is very good. You are making the child to be exposed and embrace the reality. The reality of our world now is IT.
Okay.
You can bear that.
I want to greet these special guys who are saying that Likis Bank says perfectly said. Tufoin Genevieve says very educative program watching live from Fundong. Manka Mavis says well interesting. Nanyongo Lucy says good evening Mr. Liu. IT is good, but I think parents should be very vigilant. If not, some will no longer focus on book work. Watching you live from Munya. It's Auntie Lucy. Good evening to you. And for Kevin says watching live from Bamenda. Claude Yang says spot on. Honorine Lokende says watching live from Kumba. Honorine says perfectly correct. Rather than sending them to the street to go and hurt where they are exposed to dangers. Okay. Princess Estelle says the program is very interesting. IT is really important. Ma Stephanie says that's true. Okay, Emmanuel, I greet you and everybody watching us from Tole out there in Buea. Jidiab Ngole says it's about time. Unfortunately, most of our children have a somewhat misconception about IT. Being tools and procedures useful for particular activities only and therefore optional, okay? Andil Kamer join us says, very important. Good evening to you. So design a wax. And Leon Kingsley, good evening to you. And to you, Sam Rich, you say you are watching live from Gaunduri. Chica, very impressive. Good evening to you. Mildred Singh and Ngala Evelyn Bong Bimi, who is one of our best fans. Good evening to you, Ngala Evelyn Bong Bimi. We are glad to note that you are always watching us. And we are moving towards at the end of the program. Those who are here in Cameroon, can you read out your contacts for some parents who may want to get to you?
Okay. So for my contact, my personal contact, 673-59-17-62. Just to give it again, obviously the country code is +237 for those of you who are not in Cameroon, but the number again is 673-59-17-62. Another contact you can get me on, I think that's the only one I have in mind for now. We'll probably, once you get to us through those two contacts for now, that's engineer, I'm used to calling her aunt, but engineer Winnie and my contacts, then we'll probably share more contacts to you. Now, in terms of the registration process, how to set up, she's spoken about software like Slack and Zoom and Skype. If any of those are unfamiliar to you, we're definitely going to have phone calls. I mean, I think something like a WhatsApp video call is something which isn't very difficult to handle. So we'll start from there and then see how we can set up systems for you. Yeah. Okay.
Good evening, Mr. Kum. Shared the latest contact with me. Greetings from SO. Very interesting, but just wondering how we manage the problem of lights here. Okay. Good evening to you. You have the number there. Please, Mr. Liu, difficulty in registering. Please help me. You get to the engineer, they will help you to register, please. Good evening, sir. I really appreciate you and your team for the great work you people are doing. Please, can you help me with Madam's number? Good evening, Mr. Liu. Your program is educates a lot. You are just the right person for this program. Please, for engineer's number. Juliet is writing from Loom. Seemingly, engineer Winnie is gone. Is she there? Okay, it appears the network has been... Okay, she's not there. I thought the network was restored. She's not there. But the program is going to end at this time. Are you recruiting personnel? Are you also envisaging getting state-of-the-art equipment for this purpose?
Yes, definitely. I mean, as it said, necessity is the mother of invention. So with the population or the people will be getting in there, will definitely need to work on the workforce. So there's already a first class going on, and she said the number is it's a reasonable number, but with all the feedback we're getting, we definitely need to recruit trained personnel. And like I said, the only way to test the product is to actually, or to use to see how valuable a product is.
Eli, can you get back to Engineer Winnie for the conclusion?
Yeah, to see how effective a product is, as I was saying, is to test it. So when you pay the registration fee, we're going to have introductory sessions with you, I beg your pardon, to see how valuable you think it is to you. And like we said, it's not just about the IT career in itself, it's more about the exposure and making children acquainted with all of these the tools. Yeah.
It's also about the exposure. And now, are you also working in collaboration with some other structures in Cameroon?
Well,
not yet.
Not yet, but there are a lot of things happening in the pipeline. Like I say, we're still just starting. We're trying to get everybody on board so that, But she said the main people we're targeting are humanitarians, so that we can, like you said, if you think about the cost, the amount doesn't seem like something which is too much. So we're trying to get humanitarian organizations so that they can extend a hand to assist those who may not be able to afford the facilities. And yeah,
okay,
that's where we are at.
Yes, she's back. In passing, I want to send special greetings to Elder Sabina Ikoli, who is watching from Buea. She is an elder at the Presbyterian Church Moliko, the Buea Southwest Regional Capital. Yes, Engineer, we are going to be ending at this juncture. What are some of the last words you have for the parents, many parents who are watching us this night?
Thank you very much, Mr. Kum Leonard and your team for bringing me in and for giving me the opportunity to bring this idea, this vision to our parents, our loved ones, and guardians and the world. I will go with this. What do you want for the future? Who is the future? What are the plans you are making towards building a sustainable future? I ask us this question as adults. What are the plans we are putting in place to help our children live a better, confident, and impactful life in a world of changing and evolving technology? Answer this question as you get off this podcast today, and ask yourself as well, what are you doing as a person to help better the future? Thank you again, and I want to encourage you that the simplest answer to this question is let every child, let every human being in his or her right senses be best and understand information technology, because we use information technology either directly or indirectly in our everyday living. Therefore, we need to bring in every strategy that will.
Okay. There she's gone again. So also to you, O'Neill.
I'm so sorry. Yeah. So please, Mr. Leonard, I am receiving calls. If you could announce to them, please let them stop calling me. I will get back to them. I'm sure they're already listening. But I hope you got. I hope that you got my, my last words. So parents, please, this is an opportunity for you to, integrate your child to an ever-changing world. And I will go with this again. Our mission is to let every child in the world embrace IT as part of their daily living, to teach the correct and moral use of technology to our children, to let every child in the world experience and understand the basic of IT, thus building their confidence as they grow up to choose the right career path to maximize their potentials. Thank you.
Thank you for accepting our invitation for this evening.
Thank you, Mr. Kum. I appreciate it.
Yes, O'Neill, I will also end with you. Maybe you have one last word for the televiewers, but you also have to remind them with your number.
Okay, one more time for the number. Like I said, I only have the MTN now offhand. +237 673 591762. Now, the last thing I would like to touch on is, like I said, I think it's very evident how I'll give that up to the population to imagine how old I am. But I think it's very possible to have your child be in a position I am in, or a lot of people who I know are in, young, active, and very productive people who are capable or who are definitely making changes in the society. So I think it's not something, it's an investment for now and more importantly for the future.
How old are you?
I'm turning 21 in a month.
Okay.
Yes.
So it's a kid and doing all of this. Your own kid who is 28 is behind your house asking for food every day. And you say, Susanna, don't get degree, you know, get work. Peter, don't get degree, either for house, work no day. He's 21 and he's talking on TV fluently with a lot of confidence because he went for the right education. And please, we should not deceive ourselves that there are no jobs, there are not this, there are not this. The jobs are not there because maybe what we study in fields that are not in need, in high demand in our communities. Please, even if you had done it in education or you had acquired a certificate in certain fields, feel very, very free, and the parents should not also feel that they have wasted their money training them in a particular field. They should, if possible, get to these classes and redirect their energies towards acquiring new skills and education, especially in information communication technology, because the demand is very, very high in our communities. Thank you for coming.
Thank you too.
We also want to thank all of you who took time off to watch this edition of the program. Thank you, the production team across the week, Eli and Desmond, and to you, Tabby, Tambe Bryant, for supervision. Wonderful weekend for you all. Stay blessed. Bye-bye.